Hi there, yeah, that's right. It's Nick Dash back on the camera again one more time, and I've been asked my opinion on the subject of LaVeyan Satanism and theistic Satanism. Well, the bottom line is, if you want to have your own religion, you want to make something up, then basically go for it. I mean, Mr. LaVey, way back in 1966, he was a great communicator, a great publicist, a great self-publicist, okay? And he was also a very good, very skilled cult leader. I would not necessarily call him a good man. I don't think he was necessarily providing anything good for society. And as far as cults are concerned, is there really a real merit to something which actually encourages people to revere or concentrate upon an image which means resentfulness or bitterness or anger or other related things? And someone else would say, well, it obviously doesn't mean, the image of Satan doesn't necessarily mean something necessarily violent, it just means carnality. And then you've got to ask yourself, well, what does carnal actually mean in practice? Apart from, of course, what the pundits within Satanism tell you, okay? And that would essentially mean something, satisfying in a manner which does not, or which somehow bypasses your intelligence and your reasoning faculties. So I myself am not, the imagery and ideas of Satanism do not resonate well with me. I am not someone who is in favor of it, to be quite frank. But if it's done you some good, great, fine. If you really enjoy it, then yeah, great, fine. But it's not my bag, really. Okay. I've promoted the idea that I was quite liberty-minded towards it in the past, but I don't see I just don't see the merit. If you're going to have a faith, then essentially it should, in my humble opinion, do you some good, and that essentially involves inserting positive ideas into your mentality and not inserting negative ones inside your mentality. So yeah, there are problems with some forms of literalist Christianity, which are the same order as the problems associated with literalist Satanism. As far as being a theistic Satanist is concerned, again, if that's what you want to do, then go for it. I'm not going to stop you. I just wouldn't agree with that, basically. As far as satanic magic is concerned, well, the word magic is often used interchangeably with the idea of religion or ceremony or tradition. So it's all the same thing. In what other context? In a supernaturalist context, well, then it's no different to that of Wicca or ceremonial magic, and so on and so forth. Now, I'm not saying that ceremonial magic or Wicca is negative in the same kind of sense as Satanism. But I'm actually saying it the other way around. I'm saying that the ceremonial magic of Satanism is just as placid as that of Wicca or traditional ceremonial magic. It is placid. It's not serious. It's not necessarily bad. But it's again the idea of being in a meditative state and having as an object of your concentration something which is basically from horror fiction. That's not necessarily all that positive in my humble opinion. I just don't think it's worthwhile. Again, if that's what you want to do, then fine. But I myself am not in favor of satanic imagery. I mean, if you think about it, if you're putting yourself into a hypnotic trance, what would you rather have? Something inserted into your mind which is the image of evil, violence, resentfulness, bitterness, greed, jealousy, corruption, wanting to kill your enemy rather than necessarily trying to overcome that person using fair play. Or would you rather have something which makes you stronger, to help you cope with bitterness, resentfulness, and other forms of negativity, to help you put hatred into perspective? Something that stimulates the intellect and expands your compassion to the rest of the world. I personally would rather have the latter rather than the former. Just my opinion. And it is just my opinion, okay? LaVey was just a very, very clever pundit. That's all.